So after me and my friend went to collect, well, he did it, you know, but I didn't know my friend was local. That guy is local. So we get the food. Oh, sorry. So I bought a deck of cards. I've got two. These are plastic and the other deck's made of paper. Because I'm trying to learn some card tricks. So I'm trying different types of cards. But I like the plastic ones because they're quite firm when you do tricks. As compared to paper, not so good. Anyway. Let's get into the video. Welcome back. This is going to be part 2, people. Part 2. Newcomers, welcome to Sammy's journey. So part 2, I told you I'm going to talk about the food. So part 1, I talked about how life was as a grade 10. Part of how life was. So in part 2, it's about the food. So as grade 10, we were the workforce of the school. So it means we also prepared the food we ate. I don't mean the cooking part. I mean the preparation, the cutting and the gutting. So the food we received at school, we used to have days when we had beef, chicken, fish, rice, and beans, and stones. Yeah, the rice and beans we had used to have stones in it. In fact, yeah, the rice had stones in it. So rice, beans, and stones was on the menu. So like for the fish, we were the ones who used to gut fish, or those mackerel fish. So usually in the evenings, the day before, we're supposed to have fish. Different classes, grade 10. There were 8 grade 10 classes. So there was a schedule. Maybe this week is going to be this class, the next week that other class, or whatever goes on. So we grade 10s were the ones who were gutting the fish. So we called, like in the evening we had prep, like studying from 6 p.m. to 8. Should be up to 8 p.m. So during that time we're studying. But then if your class is scheduled to do the gutting and the cutting, we had to go to the kitchen and we'd start gutting the fish in the kitchen. So the thing is, they were what we called dingo boys and dingo girls. So those are guys, fellow grade 10s, or the same grade as us. So they were there, the ones who supervise us. Like when we gut fish, they would inspect the fish to make sure everything is okay and everything, you know. Our own friends, and they were mean and rude, you know. And you know, they usually pick the hugest guys, you know. So the huge guys and the intimidating looking people are the guys who used to be like the dingo boys and dingo girls. So the ones who used to like instill fear in us, supervise us, and make sure we do the work, you know. So we got the fish. Then we also used to cut the chicken. So there'll be chickens, and we had to start cutting the chickens into portions. And the thing is, those dingo boys and dingo girls never wanted us to cut the chicken like how you cut a chicken when you get home, like the nice pieces, like proper pieces. They want us to make the pieces real small, and those same small pieces are the ones that we're going to go and eat the next day, like the day for having chicken next day. Those small pieces that we're cutting are the ones that they're going to give us. It was really rough. And those dingo boys and dingo girls are the ones who used to serve. So then, during lunch, we would have someone serving us. Like, you know, it's just like a prison thing. There were windows and like some glass, like to protect the people on the other side. So we'd go there with our trays, not trays, but our plates. And you put your, like under, there was an opening at the bottom. The person puts maybe, let's say, yeshiva. So these are the other names in different countries. Then we go to the next spot, maybe put cabbage, soup, or vegetables, or beef, whatever. You get that. Then you get the beef and whatever. And you know, sometimes it wouldn't be the dingo boys and girls that would be serving us. Sometimes it would be the chefs, the guys who cook. And sometimes, imagine you're given like a small piece of beef. And those chefs used to embarrass people. So imagine you're given a small piece of chicken and you complain like, no, this is too small, man. Then the guys used to shout stuff like, there's no meat, or it's not enough, shout. So it's like, it's embarrassing when the person shouts at you, like, because it's in a dining hall and had an echo, and when someone shouts, when one of the chefs shouts at you, everyone's going to like, all the attention goes to like, whoa, what is that guy doing? Like, you get embarrassed and all that stuff. So those men like embarrassing people. how it was. The gutting and the cutting. And sometimes they didn't really care. Sometimes the chicken would be quite frozen or the fish is still frozen, and then the weather was cold, so your hands used to get like frozen and cold. So uncomfortable touching the fish, and get back to your room, go back to your dorm afterwards. You're not gonna study that day in the evening. Go back to your room or dorm smelling like fish and just feeling all dirty. Very, very dirty. Very, very dirty job. Then also there was something they like saying, like the prefects, because during the dining hall, just imagine this big hall and there are a lot of benches, and then on one side there are benches, on the other side there are tables with benches where you can sit. So then while you're waiting for your food, you sit in the benches in rows. There were benches that were set in rows. So then the prefect will be calling row by row, like first row you line up and get your food, next row, next row, next row, next row, next row. Then this dining hall had 3 entrances, but we used to use 2. There was like, they call it the high door. Like up above, like there was a high door and the back door. So at both doors there would be prefect. So sometimes you would hear the prefect say, grade 10s, clean tables. So that means you get your plate and you start going table by table, picking up those little small pieces of food that other people have dropped. Then you go and show the prefect, like, oh, I've cleaned. Then he'll give you the thumbs up. Okay, you can go dump. So you dump the food in the bin, then you can leave. If you don't pick up anything, you're gonna stay in there. It was rough. And you're using your hands, like, cleaning after someone, like, it was very, very disturbing. Like, go clean, start scraping tables. Life as a grade 10 really, really sucked, eh? All we're known for was work. I also remember sometimes prefects used to punish grade 10s for no reason. Like maybe he sees there's just one small thing, something petty that's wrong with how you're dressed. Then he'll punish you to clean his class. Like, so if you come and sweep my classroom, just come and sweep my dorm, my room, anything, just small thing has to make you work. And I remember now something me and a friend did, but I'll say it a bit later on. So the time I was in grade 10, I remember the food was really crap, really, really crap. It wasn't so good. So like for breakfast, or from Monday to Friday, we would have samp or hard corn. Hope I said it right. Yeah, we'd have samp with peanuts on a good day. On a good day, we'd get peanuts and maybe some sugar. Yeah, the samp. And breakfast, I think it was 5 or 5:30. I can't remember. So I had to wake up early, go for breakfast. By the time it's 9 a.m., you're already hungry again. Yeah. Then on weekends, we would have tea. We'd have tea on weekends, like you have tea and bread. And that tea was something else. It was like black tea, and they added maybe a bit of milk just to change the color a bit, but not the flavor. It was sometimes just hot, like hot, burns you. Then it would be 6 or 7 people sharing one loaf of bread. At the time, the loaf of bread would have 24 slices. Sometimes you'd have 21 slices. It was rough. Sometimes you just end up, you have breakfast, and breakfast on Saturdays was at 9? Was it 9 or 10? 8, 9 or 10, somewhere there. Like, since we used to have inspection, as I said in the previous video, we had inspection where teachers and prefects would come inspect the dorms and give us points. So while the inspection was going on, we would go to the dining hall most of the times and have our breakfast and blah blah. So we'd get our food and everything. The tea wasn't that good. Then other days of the week, like for lunch would have beef, Ishima and beef, Ishima and fish, chicken, and vegetables. Sometimes we'd have cabbage, or it was always cabbage. Then for supper, every day, Monday to Sunday, the whole week, every day, for supper would have beans, Ishima and beans. And the beans was bad, There were it's just like plain boiled beans, no salt. But you could get salt at the dining hall, but you couldn't eat that beans without adding any tomato sauce or mayonnaise or spice or anything, just to change the flavor, just to make it that good. You couldn't eat that stuff. So I remember the first time I had breakfast. I remember the first time I had supper there. I just ate like a bit, like, hell no. Dumped my food and left. I couldn't eat it. And a friend of mine told me about the secrets of how to make the food more edible. Told me the secrets. And it got better. Yeah. So like for the supper part, I remember me and a friend once did something that was really, really crazy, but I liked it. So one day I was with a friend of mine. I was with him in junior high school too, and we went to the same school in high school. So I was with him one day, and we're walking, just chilling as a grade 10. Then this prefect called us. Hey, you two. He gave us a bowl and said, go get for me my supper. Sometimes they call it smuggling. Prefects could smuggle food like from the dining hall to their rooms. So he told us, when you reach there, tell them it's this. Oh, I remember. It wasn't just any prefect. It was the vice head boy, the head boy of the whole school, like the vice. So he called us and went to get food. So like he had the privilege. So we'd go there and we'd go straight to the kitchen and get his food and leave. So after me and my friend went to collect, well, he did it, but I didn't know my friend was local. That guy is local. So we get the food, and prefects had lived in an upstairs building. It was a 3-story building. So while we're on the first floor with a friend, and he does something crazy. He spits in the food of the head boy, like the beans. That's a guy. He spit in the food and he mixed it with his finger. I'm like, oh, man, you crazy. Like, mixed it up there. Like, he won't know. Like, cause what he did, like, and he called us so disrespectfully. So, yeah. So we just gave him his food. Like, I don't know. Oh man, that was the craziest thing I think I ever did as a grade 10 with a friend of mine. Damn, it's crazy, man. And the best meal in the whole school was only on Independence Day. That's when we would get like, the food tastes a bit home cooked. They added some care into the food. They added some focus into the food, and they gave us like, remember it was rice, and then they'll give us fruits, and the food was cooked well. If it was chicken, if it was beef, it was cooked very well. It was only for lunch though. Cooked very, very well, and they also give us drinks, like, this feels so good on Independence Day, but then the next day it just goes back to the normal schedule. Yeah. And there's just something about status at our school. Like, the plate you used at the dining hall showed something about you, like whether you're like rich, or you're just a poor kid or broke. But it wasn't like a fact, because most grade 10s when you get to school, sometimes you have a metal plate or a plastic plate. Yeah, you don't really have like, So some people had metal plates and plastic plates, so like, no, that person is broke and blah blah. But it was also a hack, because sometimes grade 12s would ask people for their plates. Say, oh, why like, can I use your plate and something like that? So then you give him your plate, to use. But if you have a plastic one or a metal one, grade 12s never wanted to use such kind of plates. They'll be like, nah, that's not cool with me. So they would rarely use such plates. So they would never ask you for your plate. So meaning, you're safe. Because sometimes you give a grade 12 a plate and he loses the plate, Those guys. Yeah. So then if you have a ceramic plate, like something maybe that was worth, maybe let's say, back then, like 20 kwacha. That was like a lot of money back then. You could get like nice plates from like these nice stores, get a nice unique plate, then people are like, oh, I want to use that plate, Actually, I used to call those plastic plates. There was a specific one. I'll search on Google if I can find the picture. The round one. It like had a Benz symbol. It was like a round plate divided into 3 parts. Like, so it like had a Benz symbol. So I used to go eat the Benz, and if you had one of those, people used to laugh. Like, it was like, they used to embarrass you. Oh, why? Because there were girls at school. So guys would like, that's why they embarrass you, So that's the food part. Yeah. Anyway guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you liked it, remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on my next video. So the last part, you're gonna get it soon. Anyway, peace!